Hey, what's up, team? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology. I got a question about what's the difference between introverted intuition and introverted thinking, so I figured I would make a little video about it. If you've been in the game for a long time and you really understand cognitive functions, that might sound like a strange question. But really, I remember when I first started learning this stuff, it was really confusing, and there's a lot of information going on and a lot of different ideas, that you need to parse and think through and keep in mind as you are trying to understand like the real purpose of these functions and what they are. I want to kind of go through this and explain it a little bit, so hopefully it clears some ideas up. First of all, intuition and thinking are different kinds of functions. Intuition is a perceiving function, and thinking is a judging function. So right off the bat, you have the difference in that. I don't want to block the light here. You have the difference in that the perceiving functions, intuition and sensing, are there to gather information, to learn about things, to kind of take in information, and not necessarily do what judging functions do, which is make a decision and like organize and structure your world, internal or external. But in this case, they're introverted functions. So this is the next kind of possibly confusing point, is that they're both introverted functions, and they're both trying to make sense of I guess the larger picture. And so it kind of gets mixed up in that sense. So you have an introverted perceiving function, which is trying to take a lot of data and bring it into your kind of subjective realm and figure it out and make sense of it. And basically, introverted intuition is trying to figure out why things are happening. Like, what is the real reasoning behind all of these different events? And it does that through abstract understanding. It's not looking at the real tangible sensing realm. That would be sensing, right? But it's looking at how these events all kind of stack up and where they're going, or kind of why it came about. Whereas introverted thinking it's a logical approach and kind of objective approach to making decisions. The reason I kind of like shrugged like that is because it's actually not as objective as you would think, because it's based on your own personal understanding, just like introverted intuition, because they're both introverted functions. I'm trying not to swallow when I am facing the mic, because I'm a little sick. Sorry about that. But basically, yeah, introverted thinking is taking a lot of data, a lot of information that's not connected to the human component of like feelings and values and things like that, but it's trying to look at it and make a logical understanding of it. And it does that in what might seem like a similar way to introverted intuition. So it has a bunch of information, and it's trying to put it into a model of understanding the world, like a way of looking at the data and the information that makes technical sense to you. And it does this by kind of looking at risks and rewards and trying to categorize different information and make sure that the thing really makes sense. And intuition is abstract, so it's not going to give you like a perfect explanation. It'll give you more of like hunches. And introverted thinking, though, is going to try to make it as clear as possible. Like, introverted thinkers want to know the exact words and definitions that are necessary to explain the information or to understand the information. So they're constantly going to be like searching and digging deeper and deeper to try to make sure that they understand things correctly. I consider intuition and sensing to be like the scouts. They're out there, they're looking for what is going to happen. And then they report that information back to the judging functions, which is thinking or feeling, which are the casters, the ones that are actually making the decisions about what we should do, how should we strategically approach this in whatever way fits that judging function. So thinking, introverted thinking, is going to look at whatever that data that the scout has picked up and is going to try to be like, well, how is this going to work? Like, if I approach like this, are all of these variables going to really work with me, or are they going to work against me? What are those risks and rewards that I need to weigh, to understand? And within actually the neuroscience behind these, introverted intuition needs to kind of disconnect to just realize an insight or an answer. It's about synthesizing insights, basically. And so introverted intuitives like the INJs, or even I guess the ENJs too, to a degree, are going to have to take some time every once in a while and just be like, I need to step out, or I need to just let this information kind of marinate for a bit and simmer, and then I'll come up with an answer, because that's how I work as an introverted intuitive. I'm not, but speaking from their perspective. But then an introverted thinker is going to have to shut out the external world and go into their logical core, like in the center regions of their brain, and be like, all right, how does this all fit? How does this data and information fit into my understanding of the world? Does it make technical sense? If it doesn't, then there's something that's wrong either with that data or with my own model of understanding, my way of understanding the world. And so they go through and they try to figure it out, and either they have to rewrite the coding for their mental models and their understanding, or they have to look at the data and figure out where the bugs are in it. Okay? So I hope that helped. I hope it kind of clarified those a bit. They are different, but I understand you. Like, I feel your pain when you're starting out trying to understand this stuff, and it's just like, how do I keep it all straight? And that's what I try to do with the metaphors and the classes and things like that, because it makes it a little bit more approachable. A lot of times I do end up going deeper into it than I really want to, kind of. But yeah, even just that base understanding of like, this is a more defensive scout style of introverted intuition, trying to just look from afar and piece together like where things are going, how the battle is flowing, and the effects on the environment and stuff like that. Or like the defensive kind of mage caster style, and trying to see like what spell is really required to do what I gotta do and to get leverage on the situation. All right. Thank you for watching. I hope it helped. Good luck, have fun. Peace.